Hello, World History. This is a quick presentation with a little bit of background information about life in English factories. So, the factory system in England starts with the cotton industry in particular in the 1750s, as we saw in the first section where you're looking at right now. Water power initially, and then steam powered machines basically replace animal or human labor as far as the manufacturing of goods. Workers were low skilled or totally unskilled, like children would be a major source of workers. And the end result of this is goods are much, much more inexpensive than they would have been previously for both the workers in those factories and the general population at large. So you have an image of a power loom here with a woman reaching into the machinery and the supervisor standing up above her, and all these other women in the background working to make cotton. So, in spite of the huge number of jobs and the increase in goods, there are laws passed between in the early 19th century, so 1850, I'm sorry, 1800 to 1850, basically putting limits on what conditions factory workers would be put into. So there were certain jobs banned for children. Children couldn't be loom operators, for example. It had to be adult women in general. Children have a limit of 60 work hours in 1850 and no more than 10 and a half hours a day. And you can see there's some political cartoons. This one's titled English Factory Slaves, where they're basically showing children being run ragged inside of a factory. So there are various commissions established by the Parliament where they look into whether this factory system is a positive for the workers or a negative. And very similar to nowadays, you hear similar arguments about with a company like Amazon or something like that. The cheap goods, are they worth the conditions that they're produced in? And so the central question here is, were the textile factories bad for the health of the English workers? So that's going to be what you're going to look at some primary source documents about.